Ferdi Kadıoğlu has slowly become one of the best fullbacks outside the top 5 leagues. His unconventional route into the position has made him quite an unconventional player, which could allow him to make an impact at some of Europe's biggest teams. What makes the 24-year-old such an interesting late developer? Arsenal are reportedly intensifying their efforts to secure the signing of Fenerbahçe left-back Ferdi Kadıoğlu, with a lucrative offer on the table and another to follow. Turkish outlet Milliyet claims that Arsenal's initial bid of 20 million euros was deemed insufficient by Fenerbahçe, but the Gunners are expected to return with an improved offer of 20 million euros plus 5 million euros in bonuses, totaling 25 million euros. The 24-year-old defender, who has a contract with Fenerbahçe until 2026, is reportedly keen on a move to the Emirates Stadium. Arsenal's interest in Kadıoğlu has been well documented over the past month. Turkish media reports suggest that the Gunners are actively engaged in negotiations with the players' representatives and are prepared to meet Fenerbahçe's asking price. Journalist Sacha Tavolieri initially revealed Arsenal's interest in Kadıoğlu, but noted that official talks with Fenerbahçe had not yet commenced. However, Turkish outlet Türkiye has since reported that Arsenal is pushing to finalize a deal and is at the negotiating table with the player. Arsenal scout Romain Poirot has reportedly been impressed by Kadıoğlu's performances for Fenerbahçe this season, contributing 3 goals and 5 assists. Poirot's positive scouting reports have apparently convinced Arsenal of the player's quality. While Arsenal's interest is clear, the final transfer fee for Kadıoğlu remains uncertain. He is under contract with Fenerbahçe until 2026, giving the Turkish club significant leverage in negotiations. Fenerbahçe reportedly values the Turkish international at 25 million euros, but other reports suggest they might be seeking a higher fee of 30 million euros. Despite the uncertainty surrounding the transfer fee, Kadıoğlu's desire to join Arsenal and the Gunners' willingness to meet Fenerbahçe's demands suggest that a deal could be imminent. However, Arsenal faces competition from Borussia Dortmund, who are also said to be interested in the player. Ferdi's unconventional route to the top is what makes him such an interesting player. He first broke onto the scene at NEC Nijmegen as a traditional number 10, drawing comparisons to players like Felipe Coutinho and Isco because of his ability to create chaos from half spaces and eye for goal. A low-cost transfer to Fenerbahçe followed, where Ferdi was never really entrusted with game time in his favoured attacking midfield positions. In a trend that has plagued Turkish football, the talented young player was consistently pushed down the queue for the position, with preference given to declining foreign players like Max Cruz or Andre Ayew. Despite playing in advanced roles for the Netherlands under-21 side, in nearly 200 appearances for Fener, Ferdi has only played in the central attacking midfield position 3 times. In his initial appearances for the first team, he found game time in the rotation on the wings. His ability to dribble in tight spaces and pick passes in forward areas provided some promise in these positions, but he never really cemented a settled place in the team, perhaps lacking that explosive burst of pace or bit of athleticism to make him a true threat outside of central areas. At the start of the 21-22 season, he finally found consistent game time as a left wing back, and then was moved further back into a standard left full back position as the season progressed. This was an odd development path for a right-footed player more accustomed to being a number 10, but Kadıoğlu never looked back. In a further nod to his versatility, Ferdi spent the 22-23 season playing primarily as a right back before switching back to left back once again for most of the 23-24 season so far. The skills Ferdi developed playing in more attacking roles early on in his career are evident today. He can manipulate the ball in tight spaces, use clever body positioning, and employ his surprising strength and acceleration to beat opponents. He can pick line-breaking passes and 1-2s around the penalty area. He has maintained his eye for goal and ability to arrive into the area. These are the kind of traits you would expect to see from an advanced 8 or number 10 working in the half spaces rather than a fullback. With his low socks, shuffling style and habit of wriggling through gaps between opponents, Ferdi often looks very similar to Jack Grealish on the ball. His early career spent picking passes into advanced positions is reflected in his passing output. Ferdi makes deep completions and ground passes to an area within 20 meters of the goal at a far higher rate than any other fullback in the league. What has been pleasantly surprising has been how quickly Ferdi has adapted to the defensive side of the position. The Turkish international seems like he is at home in the role rather than a late convert. Despite his small stature, he wins most of his duels and contributes effectively in one of the league's best defences. He might not post table-topping defensive stats in terms of outright volume of actions, but when called to defend, he is dependable enough not to be a net negative. In an attacking sense, as you would expect, he adds massive value to Fenerbahçe. This season, he has attempted the most passes of any fullback in the Super League, whilst also maintaining the highest passing accuracy of any player in the position. He completes his forward passes with over 80% accuracy and leads the league's fullbacks in expected goals assisted and passes into the final third. His deeper starting position at fullback and tendency to come infield on his right foot opens the pitch for line-breaking passes from difficult angles to defend. The kind of passes he attempts are often more in the style, but maybe not to the quality, of a deep-lying playmaker like a Rodri or Frenkie de Jong, rather than the range of passes usually played by a fullback restricted to the touchline by their preferred foot and position. He is also generally on the front foot after playing a pass, looking to receive 1-2s and break into the final third. He often breaks into central areas near the box where he can create overloads rather than remaining wide like a traditional fullback would. The threat of Ferdi's passing quality and his energetic raids into the central space allows him to be a double threat ball progressor. He is also quick and skillful enough to exploit empty space left out wide by the defence if they try to adapt to his movement. Of the league's fullbacks, he makes the most progressive runs and has the highest dribble completion percentage. It's an area of his game honed through playing in more attacking positions that opens unusual attacking avenues that unsettle defensive blocks. Kadıoğlu is key to Fener's build-up. He's often the player with the most touches of the ball on the team. He completes the most dribbles per 90, passes into the final third, and progressive passes. Last month's victory over Pendikspor was a good example of what Ferdi brings to his position. An all-action display including a goal, assist, 9 of 14 duels won, and the most touches of anyone on the pitch. Ferdi frequently created danger by drifting inside from his left-back position in defence into central areas in possession. From there, he frequently picked dangerous passes with his preferred right foot. His quality in this area causes problems for opposition defences. Ferdi can function as both a deep playmaker and ball progressor from areas where teams are not usually set up to press. This quality in fullbacks has been used by managers like Jurgen Klopp, Pep Guardiola and Mikel Arteta successfully in recent seasons to vary their team's attacking build-up. Ferdi Kadıoğlu's unconventional style makes his next transfer move intriguing. He stacks up well to the kind of players that have been used in the inverted fullback role at some of the biggest clubs in European football.